Good morning, traders, and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Monday, November 24th. Okay, let's get into the action. Take a look at the S&Ps, which are rallying this morning. We're up, 0.45%, which is positive. We were up over, 0.5%, but the market's active. It's very active this morning. There's renewed expectations for a Fed rate cut in December. Those odds started to build on Friday. They're still having some positive effect on the markets today. Because New York Fed Bank President John Williams came out on Friday and he said the near-term cut remains a possibility, noting that, market labor weakness is now posing a greater risk to the economy than elevated inflation. So if we get a rate cut, that would be positive. At least going into the rate cut, it would be positive. We want to get a dovish tone out of the Fed at that meeting next month. In terms of the economic calendar, it is busy. You get a lot of delayed data releases coming back out this week. You get the September PPI, you get the September retail sales. Those are going to be out this week. On the geopolitical front, the Trump administrations have indicated progress on that Ukraine peace deal. Ukraine's really in a tough position because, on the one hand, they have their dignity, saying they don't want to be giving up any territory because they were the ones that were invaded. On the other hand, if they don't have support from the U.S., they can't continue to create an offensive. So they're in a tough situation, and those negotiations apparently are seeing some progress. The White House is looking to extend some of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. That's positive. In technology news, NVIDIA's may regain their ability to sell their advanced chips to China. That's on Trump's desk. And Elon Musk is out there noting that Tesla, is also an AI company creating chips, and they're close to releasing their new AI5 chip. Novo Nordisk, ticker NVO, the shares are weakening. Phase 3 trial showed, some negative progress. I'll get more on that in a little bit. On the earnings front, LG and Keysight Technologies, Zoom Communications, they're all going to be reporting after the bell. That's something to keep an eye on. Then we're turning our attention over to Europe, and we're taking a look at the DAX. The DAX is up 127 points, or 0.56%. Bank cyclical stocks, they're showing gains. Then you have the FTSE, which is up 0.25%, led by banks and mining stocks. In France, the CAC is actually flat to lower. It's down 0.05%. A little weakness probably in the pharma sector. It's causing that pullback. Which is minor, by the way. Now we're turning our attention over to Asia, and we're starting off with Japan. But Japan was closed. They had a national holiday. Hong Kong, the Hang Seng was up 1.97%. That dovish commentary from the Fed official John Williams on rate cuts really did fuel that rally when, we saw solid gains in tech. Then we're talking China. The Shanghai finished higher, fractionally higher. Saw some gains in chip stocks. The China Japan spat is continuing. Japan's defense minister apparently visited a military base in Taiwan. That doesn't bode well for their relations, but it will blow over in time. Then we're talking crude oil. Crude oil was trading lower all morning long, but it has since turned positive. We're looking at WTI at $58.18 a barrel. We're talking Brent is at $62.69 a barrel. Both are up 0.2%. The key thing here is the Ukraine-Russia, peace accord. If this deal goes through, Russian sanctions should be lifted, or they could be lifted. If that happens, you're going to see a significant increase in oil stock flows into the global market. And, that would flood the market. And we're already in a situation where we're seeing, stockpiles increase. So that would probably weaken oil prices. But oil prices, right now trading at $58.18. That's still under 60. That's still pretty cheap. So we're going to keep an eye on that all day. Oil prices will be a key this week, and one of the main issues will be if an agreement comes out of this out of the U.S.-Ukraine talks this week. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about earnings reports that are coming out. No, there are no earnings reports this morning, and there's no earnings reports that came out on Friday afternoon. But upcoming, we got a lot of upcoming earnings report. Elgine's coming out after the bell. That's ticker A. Their EPS is $1.59. Expected move is 8.40%. Then you get Zoom Communications, ticker, what is that ticker? ZM. Listen, their EPS is $1.43, and expected move is 8.51%. Then Keys, Keys, Keysight Technologies, their EPS is $1.85. Expected move is 18.64% when they release. In terms of economic reports coming out today, you get the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index coming out at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's really it. It's going to be a light week for Fed speak. There's not going to be many scheduled speakers. And then you get the blackout period starting shortly afterwards. So, yeah, I think we've heard the biggest ones out there, last week. But we'll wait to see if anybody else comes out this week. And if so, we'll let you know. Okay, let's take a quick peek at the markets. I'm showing 11 stocks lower, 1 unchanged. The rest are higher, so was it 21 higher? 19 higher. That's pretty positive. Okay, what do we see? What's the news? In terms of Apple, Apple's trading higher. Apparently, multiple firms are pulling their content from the Apple News feed. Apple's up 0.8%. In terms of Amazon, Amazon's trading a little higher this morning. The White House has paused an executive order that would preempt state laws on AI. Meta Platforms up about 1% this morning, but there's U.S. court filings allege that Meta shut down internal research into the mental health effects of Facebook after finding casual evidence that its products harmed users' mental health. Not good. Tesla, trading higher by over 2% this morning as Musk talks up its AI chip business. In terms of Dow Jones 30 stocks, NVIDIA and VDA chip sales to China, key decision for Trump, says Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce. Got to look at UNH. United Healthcare is up over 2% this morning. White House is expected to unveil an extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Apple, there are reports about the succession plans being premature, that Tim Cook is retiring anytime soon. In terms of merger news, GDOT, Grace David, Oscar Tom, Green Dot is going to split fintech and banking units in deals with Smith Ventures and Commerce One. In terms of buyback news, we got USFD, United States Foods. Their board approved a 1 billion share repurchase authorization this morning. Okay, that's news for this morning. Let's take a look at the stock of the day. And I got to go with JM Smuckers, SJM, Sam John Michael. Listen, earnings are out tomorrow morning before the open. The EPS is $2.14, and the expected move is 7.3%. Okay, look at the call volume on Friday. 4,571 calls versus 197 puts. That's enormous. Open interest, a little more even, 13,045 versus 9,607. Still positive, though, on the call side. Major brokers are raising price targets. They jumped them by like 20%. So, that is a good sign that they think the business is turning around. In terms of an entry price for SJM, listen, I got to be cautious here because it's a really wide spread. 102.34 to 111 is the spread right now. So I'm thinking 104 to 104.50 maybe, somewhere like around there with some gains coming in later in the day. But that's my pick of the day. SJM, Sam, John, Michael, JM Smuckers, 104 to 104.50. Okay, let's take a look at the news that's hitting the tape this morning. Salesforce CEO says use Gemini 3, not going back to Chat GPT in a post. Ooh, wow. That's what I was talking about on Friday. Google really is the dominant force in in AI right now. You look at the stock price of Microsoft, it's been pulling back as of late because, Google's overtaking it. Biogen's up 4% after Novo's Alzheimer's drug misses key target. Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. Christopher Waller is out there advocating for a rate cut in December. ARWR, Arrowhead, earns $200 million milestone payment for Serapina. U.S. senators call for a probe of scam ads on Facebook and Instagram. You know, there's talk about AI meets aggressive accounting at Meta new data center. Interesting. Diet Drugs launched Lilly into the 1 trillion market cap club, LLY. Novo Nordisk says phase 3 trial did not display significant statistical reduction in Alzheimer's disease. That's why the stock's down 10%. Listen, NVO is cheap. I know this is bad news, and I know the weakness will continue. It hit a low of 41.25. It's now trading 42.63, but if it drops below 40, it's got to be looked at. It's got to start getting reviewed because it is Europe's most largest drug company. CVX turned. I mean, it was lower in the day. You know, listen, it's trading alongside with the oil prices right now. Okay, that's all I'm seeing this morning. All right. In terms of yesterday or Friday's stock of the day, you know what? It wasn't a bad pick. We went with Netflix. I mean, the stock opened up at 105.13, ran up to 106.54 before closing at 104.31. So that differential between 105.13 and 106.54 is definitely greater than 1%. So it did win, but I still think there's buying this stock on the weakness is a good idea because not too long ago it was trading 110. 111, and wouldn't be surprised if it gets back to that area between now and during next month. Netflix should start to move higher, but Netflix was a winner on Friday, so that's what I have for you today on Monday, November 24th. Guys, it's a holiday shortened week. There's going to be light volume, which could mean a higher volatility. Let's keep that in mind. And you know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green.